Hey, what's up, guys? My name's Alec. I'm a senior CSE student at University of Buffalo. Making this video for my CSE 442 class, software engineering. Um, this video is going to be primarily for CSE students for this class in the future, and future STEM students who happen to be in athletics in university. So, my first advice for future CSE 442 students with Jesse is that you should choose a project that will be fun and challenging. I know that Jesse's going to harp on this in the beginning of the year, and you're probably going to shake it off, but you really should choose a project that is very challenging for yourself. You're going to want to learn so much about it. Primarily, you should challenge yourself to learn new coding concepts, learn new languages. For my project, we did an Android app, but the part that I focused on was PHP, and that was a new learning curve for me and some of my other group mates. And I think that because I was able to apply some of the knowledge I had before and use and gain more knowledge, I became a better coder because of it, and I have another skill that I'll be able to put on my resume for when I start looking for a job. Um, Another thing you want to consider is be with group members that you get along with and that you may know from prior experience. Um, you just don't want to butt heads with people, especially if it's someone's application idea. Um, they may be very sensitive to it, and you don't want to hurt their feelings or have your feelings hurt, or even you know you just want to make sure that everything runs as smoothly as possible. And personally, you want to be you want to treat it like a work environment almost. You want to be kind, respectable, and responsible in all facets of the project. You don't want to be the person that is that's not reliable, and people don't look up to you to get your work done in any way. And so one of the final points of the project is you should be reasonable with your time frame, meaning that you only have 13, 14 weeks to get this application done and get it deployed and make sure it's working and have little to no bugs in general. So I wouldn't say aim low, but you definitely don't want to aim for the stars. In this case, I mean, you're gonna probably get with a couple group members who are can code, but they're not very experienced, and having themselves be on a constant time schedule with everything, it's going to be tough. And especially if you have a strong desire to create the best app. I mean, good for you. You should, but you only have 15 weeks to work on this to get it deployed, to get it working. And it's just sometimes it's just very hard to do that, especially if you have other classes going on. I know some people are taking algorithms with this class, and their time management is being tested, and it's tough, and it's just hard to do. But I mean, just be reasonable. Understand that it takes a lot to get everything working. Especially if you do an application and you have server side backend developers along with application developers and the GUI. You have to have everything communicating properly, or else you're going to get a bug and it's not going to work, and you're going to be sitting there scratching your head, and you're going to be frustrated, and it's going to suck. But that's just how it goes. That's what the real world's about. It's about testing, making sure everything works, and deploying something that everyone's going to want to use and user friendly. And I mean, all that comes down to is understanding your time frame and being able to break the project up into chunks and get it done. My last point for future CSE 442 students is when it comes to working with the group, make sure you show up to pretty much every meeting. You don't want to be sitting out there alone in the dark and not knowing what you're going to do. Another thing is to communicate. All these things are going to be you're going to be graded on in general. but the communication, group communication, communication with other teammates, it's key. You want to make sure that if you have the task split up and it's you and this other person working on it, you want to make sure you're communicating with them, understanding like, hey, I got this part done, or I'm not understanding how to do another part. You want to make sure that everyone is talking, and this project is preparing you to for the job, for a job force and working in real life. If this is what you want to do for money, this is a great test just to see what it's all about. Jesse does a great job of explaining it to you, and to be honest, if the class wasn't structured the way it is right now, I wouldn't say that um, I would quite grasp how important it is to communicate and to do something like this. I mean, yeah, you can always have a project on the side, while you're having exams and everything, but it's not quite the same thing in any way. I had to do a database project for a database concepts class, and yeah, it kind of helped me understand it. But if it was the only thing I had to work on, I would definitely put more time and effort into learning the code and learning how a database functions. Whereas, so like for this class, all you're doing is this app, so you're learning every facet, ins and outs of everything. You have to, so you just so I mean, it forces you to learn. It forces you to understand what's going on more so than just pounding in, hours of coding just to get it to work. I mean, you could do that, but you're not going to get everything you need. Um, and make sure you work hard and put your effort in. You don't want to be the last one out, and then your grade's going to suffer for it. I mean, for Jesse's class, you can only miss 10 points, and everything. It is an easy A if you do the work and you make sure you communicate and you do everything the right way, and you put forth the effort. But if you don't, you're gonna get screwed. And I mean, if you don't in this class, you might get a bad grade, but in the job force, you get fired. You don't have a job. So that's my advice for CSE 442 students in the future. I hope that it kind of gets you ready, gets you prepared. My next piece is for future STEM students. That stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Um, this pertains mostly to athletes, people who play varsity sports, and it can pertain to people who are doing a lot of extracurricular stuff, intramurals, anything like that. I play baseball. I'm on the UB baseball team. Um, so I've been doing this for 4 years now, and it's tough. I'm not gonna lie. Being a STEM student, it's tough, and you're not gonna find many athletes who are STEM students. I mean, there are, I think, 9 varsity teams for men's and women's, and majority of them aren't in a science technology field, if any of them. I mean, we're few and far between. Um, I know computer science is hard, and when I came in as a freshman, I knew pretty much nothing in computer science world. I didn't even take a technology class in high school, so it was very raw, very new. So I know it's the same way for most engineering classes. I mean, it's a lot of work right away, and they're not ready for it. My buddy also plays baseball. He's a civil engineer, and it's the same thing. And it's a lot of work. You have to have your nose in the books. You have to be able to work hard. Have priorities straight and everything, and it's tough. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, on top of having all the schoolwork, I mean, you have athletics, and on top of it, you have practice, you have lift. You're gonna be tired all the time. You have to make sure that you're willing to work hard, and this is the right major for you. Um, it's a grind in every way. Um, Knowing that it is the right major for you, you have to be prepared to use your time management correctly. You're not going to have a lot of time to meet with professors, meet with TAs. Mainly, if you practice, in the afternoons, it might be 2 to 5, 3 to 6, anything like that. TAs and teachers, they have regular jobs too. They want to go home to their families, so they're not going to hold office hours all the time till 7, 8 p.m. and you may have class during their office hours. So it's tough, and you have to be able to you have to communicate with them. You have to, you know, emails to TAs and teachers. Get the office hours, get the time you need to understand concepts that you may not get on the first try, or you need to, be ready to look up concepts to understand that, it's gonna be hard for you, not all the time, but it's definitely not gonna be easy. Um, so some advice for that is, make your appointments, get try and be personable with teachers. Let them know your name. Make sure they know that you're an athlete. Make sure they know that you know you're not gonna struggle unless if you don't work hard and you're okay with struggling. But I mean, for me, I always wanted to work hard. I want to make sure I get my good grades, uh, and make sure I keep my scholarship, my academic scholarships, and everything. So you just got to be prepared for long nights, early mornings, and you just got to get to it. Um, so another thing that you should probably do is make friends with kids in your classes. You'll end up seeing you're the same people in majority of your classes for the next 4 years, um, and they may be in the same boat as you. They may be struggling. They may have other conflicts going on. So I would make friends with them, and that way you can talk to them. You can, if you don't understand a concept and they do, you can ask them, hey, how you figure this out? They can do the same thing for you if you somehow understand something they don't. I mean, it's just a win. It's just a win-win, and it's good people skills for you and for the future. And you can help. You now have someone that that you can use. You can use them as group members for other projects. You do all kinds of things. And so another thing I would do is use the internet to your advantage. Plain and simple. You don't have time to talk to everybody, to see professors, to understand everything completely. Use Google. Google the concepts you're learning. Find a YouTube video. Find anything. I mean, the book isn't always going to be clear. You're not going to want to read it. It sucks. Your teachers may not always be prompt to respond to you, to help you out in every way. So it's tough. You just got to do what you got to do. You learn how to be a professional Googler if you're an athlete and you're in a tough major like a STEM major. It's really tough. And people are in the same boat as you. People don't understand concepts all the time, so they find professionals who can explain it for them, explain it differently. You might be a visual learner. There's someone who can do it through visually, or do it through auditory. It's all the same. But so future STEM students in athletic, future STEM students who are athletes, and you can also be in intramurals, extracurriculars. You may have a job on the side. It's all the same thing. You have to be prepared to work hard. I mean, obviously you know that, but it's another level. It's more than some of the other teammates who may not be in the major you are. They may be doing other work, but it's new stuff that you've never done before. So just be ready to work hard. Thanks.